What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the channel. Today I'm doing a defensive help video, one that was requested by a user. I had a user specifically request that I give advice on how I pick my plays and the reasoning behind it. And so I figured the easiest way to do that is to start with defense and then transition to offense second. So there will be a second video coming in this series, maybe multiple for offense because offense is more complex. But I want to start with defense and give you guys the basic gist of what I do defensively to stop the AI and stop other users. Now, the first thing and I've made other videos on this, but the first thing that I do on defense pretty much every single time on first down is I'm going to come out in a heavier set or a comparatively heavy set to the offense. And the reason for that, this is different than a lot of other people. You might be calling coach suggestions, or you might be calling pass heavy defensive sets because a lot of people like to pass in Madden, but that ends up going against the basic principles of football. The basic principle of football is to try and get or of defense, in my opinion, and what I've been taught and what I've learned, is to try and get the offense into a third and long situation. Try and get them into a situation where they have to pass it longer downfield and make a more difficult play. Well, how do you do that? On first and second down, you have to prevent them from getting any yards. Well, you're not going to do that if you come out in a nickel formation or a passing formation and let them run for 5 yards on you on first down. Then they have two easy plays where they can get quick little second down or quick little third down passes and pick up the first down. You're never going to stop an offense by doing that. And so 9 out of 10 times, what I'm going to do, even if the offense comes out in a nickel offense, is I'm going to be coming out in a 3-4 or a 4-6 or some type of heavier formation on first down. And the reason being is I don't care what formation they're coming out of, they are not going to pick up that first down run on me. And then after that, it's just a matter of matching their personnel beyond that. And so this is the reasoning behind my first down play call. My first down play call is designed to stop the run. Go ahead and try and pass on me. That's what I'm telling you to do. I want you to try and make a longer play. I'm going to stop the running game and stop the underneath passing game on first down. And by doing so, I'm going to force you into more difficult situations on second and third down and force you into more difficult situations all game long. And by doing that, you create more chances for turnovers, you create more chances for sacks, for fumbles, for interceptions, for all of those things to happen. If you come out in a lighter set and allow them to just pick up 5 yards per play on a run against your weak set on defense, then you're not doing anything to force them to do difficult plays. You're not forcing them to make reads. You're not forcing them to throw the ball deep. And that is the main failure of a lot of people's defenses. So on first down, the lightest set that I'm going to ever come out in is the big nickel. If you really feel like you need to come out in a pass coverage set on first down, come out in that big nickel. And then the second time that I will ever come out in anything other than a heavier set on first down is if they come out with a 4 wide receiver set. In a 4 wide receiver set, then you're in trouble. Then you need to have extra defensive backs on the field, so it's okay to go out of a quarter or a nickel or a dime or something of that nature. But those are the only 2 times on first down when you're going to want to come out of those formations, especially against the AI. The AI are incredibly predictable, and if you want to beat the AI, you have to stop the run on first down because they're coded to run on first down 90% of the time. That's just the way that it is. And then if they pick up a good gain on first down in the run game, they're going to run it again on second down, and so that's how you know that they're predictable. So beyond first down, what do I do? In any given scenario on second down, I am matching the personnel of the offense man for man. And what I mean by that is by looking at the number of receivers that they're putting out on the field. And so you're going to want to have your pre-play information on, and you're going to want to look at these formations and see which one matches up out of your playbook with the number of receivers that's on the field. If they come out in a 2 wide receiver set, you're going to want to come out in a somewhat heavy set, a 4-6, a 3-4, because you only need 2 corners to match up with those 2 wide receivers. And then you're going to want to call plays out of that after. after that. I'm going to get into zone coverages, man coverages, and all of that in a moment, but I want to get to the personnel matchups first and foremost. And I know I've made videos on this in the past, but there's a lot of new people here on the channel, and I want to get this point across. If they come out in a 3 wide receiver set, you should be coming out in any formation of the nickel that you could possibly call, because you're going to need those 3 defensive backs to match up against the 3 wide receivers on offense. And if they come out with 4 wide receivers, you need to come out in a quarter or a big dime or something of the like that has 4 defensive backs, 4 corners, or 3 corners and a safety to be able to match up in coverage against all those wide receivers. Otherwise, you're at risk of getting burnt. Now, that's obviously going to change a little bit depending on whether it's second and long or second and short. It's going to change quite a bit. And so I'm going to get into what I do on second down if it's a certain situation here next right away. So if it is a second and short, you're going to want to be stopping the short to intermediate passing range, as well as being prepared to stop the run. And in order to be prepared to stop the run on second down, you come out and match their formation. And in order to do that, they come out in 3 wide receiver sets. I come out in a 3 cornerback look like this, and I'm going to call a Tampa 2 or a cover 2, because those yellow zones and those little blue zones on the outside are going to be underneath coverage. I'm trying to stop the 5-yard passes. I have safeties deep to cover in case they try and go deep. There are open parts of the field in this type of formation, but on a second and short, you know that the offense is, generally speaking, either going to be taking a shot deep because they know they're going to have a third and short, or they're going to be trying to pick up that first down with a short little 5-yard pass. And so you call a defense in order to cover that. Not a cover 3, not a cover 4, not anything like that. That's a mistake that I see a lot of people making, is on early downs calling deeper coverages. You don't need to do that on early downs unless you're coming out against somebody that's really trying to air out the ball nonstop. If it is a second and long, you are more likely going to call some of those cover 3s. Don't call a cover 4. You'll never need that on second down. That's a kind of like long distance type of coverage. Call a cover 3, but I would still stick to that cover 2 type of formation, and the reason being is that those guys sticking closer to the line of scrimmage, including the corners, means that they can help out in the run game. The problem that a lot of people has is if you pick this cover 3 right here, and I'm going to show you guys, if you pick the cover 3, your guys are going to be dropping back in coverage, and it's going to cause some problems for you. So I'm just going to call a basic offensive run here. I picked the wrong play. But what you'll see is that all of these guys, your linebackers, your corners, everybody, their first instinct on a play that's like a cover 3 is to drop back in coverage. And so if they decide to run the ball against you, you're going to have a tough time actually being able to do that. You're going to get blown off the ball because most of your guys are dropping back into a deep coverage. Whereas if you go ahead and pick a cover 2, a Tampa 2, your guys are going to be more readily available to stop the run. And so that's what I'm doing on second down. I'm matching personnel, and then I'm deciding, do I need to stop a short play? Do I need to stop a long play? Most of the time, I'm going to be calling like a Tampa 2, or I'm going to be covering like a man double buzz. But for the most part, I'm going to be in zone coverage. Zone coverage is king this year. Unless you have top-end corners, you're really not going to want to be in man coverage. And unless you have a guy that is trying to go deep a lot, you're not really going to want to be in man coverage. It's just really not effective this year. Try to stick to your zones most of the time. It's going to allow you to user a certain zone and have guys around you to pick up the slack in case you miss your assignment or something. Zone coverage is king this year, and it works really well against the AI if you play it correctly. Now, the other thing that I want to note, while I've already talked about first and second down, is blitzing. You're going to want to blitz a lot, and you're going to want to vary your blitzes. You don't want to call the same thing over and over again. You want to try and mix it up. And so what you guys will see on my channel a lot is occasionally I will bring like a blitz out of the nickel double A gap, which is a really effective way to blitz because oftentimes you give free rushers. But there are a lot of blitzes out of this formation. There's the buck zone blitz, the nickel dog meg, the nickel dog 3 buzz, outside dog 3, SS dog 3, all types of different blitzes out of this nickel double A gap formation. And then there are coverages. And so what I do whenever I'm trying to call these plays, and this is getting more into third down, is I'm trying to fake out the offense. The AI does get faked out, and you can bait them a lot of times. If you get the quarterback uncomfortable by bringing a lot of pressure and bringing it from different angles, you can get them uncomfortable in the pocket, and then on third down, I can drop back into a cover 3 cloud show 2, which isn't a blitz at all, and I'm going to get a little bit of pressure off the edge, but I'm going to have everybody necessary back in coverage to get a pick, and the quarterback's going to be under that pressure from earlier on, and they're going to be trying to throw a quick pass, and those guys dropping back into coverage will be in position to pick off passes. And so we're getting into third down here. Third down, you really have to match personnel. Third down, oftentimes I'm even considering calling a lighter formation than what the offense comes out in. So say it's a third down and long, and they come out in a 2 wide receiver set. Well, it's very unlikely that they're going to run the ball on third down and long, regardless of what formation they come out in. So don't be afraid to come out in a nickel. Yeah, you might give up 6, 7, 8 yards on a run, but it's not going to be enough to get a first down. Your players will react in time on a third and long to stop a run. And if they don't, you just need to get better players at that point. But don't be afraid to come out and pass coverages in third down, and really don't be afraid to bring multiple different blitzes from all types of different angles, but mainly zone blitzes. The reason that you don't want to call a lot of man blitzes is because if your guys get beat, there's nobody over the top to help you out. If you call these zone blitzes, yeah, you might give up a play here and there, but you're going to have safeties and corners over the top to help you out, to make the tackles, to prevent touchdowns. And the more you force your opponent to play, the more plays you force your opponent to make, the more opportunities there are for them to make mistakes. And so if you're giving up long one-play touchdowns, long 80-yard touchdowns, 60, 70-yard touchdowns, that's your problem. You need to stop doing that. You need to force the opponent to make plays. You need to force them to work their way downfield and earn their touchdowns. And by doing so, you're forcing them to make more mistakes because they have more opportunity to make mistakes, and you have more opportunity to bring pressure. You have more opportunity to make them uncomfortable. So that's what I'm doing on defense, especially on third down. I'm bringing a lot of different pressures from different angles, and so I get a lot of sacks, as you guys have seen in the past. Hopefully that helps clear some things up for you guys in terms of what I do on defense. If you guys need any more advice on defense, on what I do, please feel free to ask me down in the comment section. I will always give you guys tips and advice on what I do, but that's pretty much the gist of it. Is I bring a lot of pressure. I make sure that I'm always matching the correct personnel because I don't want them to run easily on me. I hate it. I really hate it whenever I come out or somebody comes out in like a quarter formation against a 2 wide receiver set. There's just no way that you can stop the run out of that formation. I mean, occasionally you can get lucky and your guys will come in and shoot a gap and get the running back, but it's not reliable. For the most part, the offense is going to have 5 offensive linemen trying to block defensive backs, and that's never a good matchup for you on defense. So you have to make sure, first and foremost, that you are matching formations correctly. You need to make sure that you are stopping the run on first down, and as you guys can see, 16% of my play call is 3-4 defense. That's first down. And then beyond that, everything else is nickel. It's nickel double A gap. It's nickel 3-3-5 odd, nickel normal, nickel 2-4-5. These are all very good sets. My personal favorite defensive formation is the nickel 3-3-5 odd. That is one of the best by far defensive formations, and I don't know why. It just works well. There's a lot of good blitzes out of it. There's like the linebacker cross, which works really well, the cover 3 sky show 4, dropping different guys back into coverage, blitzing safeties, blitzing corners and stuff like that. It's going to work really well for you guys. So if I have one last tip for you guys before I sign off for this video, it is to add the nickel 3-3-5 odd into your playbook and really give it a shot. Try to bring all those different blitzes, and I guarantee you that you're going to like that formation because there's a lot of good stuff in it, and you're going to generate pressure from time to time coming out of that formation. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. Like I said, there will be a couple more videos coming after this. It's going to be some offensive oriented videos. I apologize for the video the other day where I was trying to show the F and the C defenders, those little bubbles above people's heads on defense. For some reason, it was telling me I had insufficient connection to stream, and so it was lagging, and I don't think think it actually recorded. So I just took that video down off the channel because my audio wasn't on it. It was just like calling practice plays with no audio or anything, which was really weird. So I took that down off the channel. I might try and redo that video. We'll see. If you guys want to see that video with me actually speaking in it, let me know down in the comment section. With all that being said, leave your comments down below what you guys want to see next, what you guys need help with, and I hope you guys have a great one. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.